Brandon Johnson has support from several high-profile progressives, including Senators Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders, also the super far-left House Representatives Ayanna Pressley and Jamal Bowen. Jason Rantz, Seattle radio host, what's your thought on this? I mean, it's hard to believe that people wouldn't choose the person who might lead their city and not defund the police and might make things better. Do you really think they'll lean farther left?
So it depends on why folks didn't vote for Lori Lightfoot. We have this assumption, I think based on what we've been hearing on the ground, it's a fair assumption that folks thought that she was too far to the left. But it's possible they didn't think she was far to the left enough. I mean, for anyone to consider Brandon Johnson at this point, knowing what they know about his record, knowing what they know about who's backing him, it should not be this close. And so maybe we misread the situation a little bit. I will say, obviously, it would be a shame after all of the efforts to boot Lori Lightfoot from office to end up getting someone who is further to the left than she is. But this is where it really counts when we're talking about, conservatives in a Chicago or a L.A., New York, Seattle, Portland. Generally, our votes don't really matter on the hyper-local level like this because we're so outnumbered. But when races are close, they especially matter. So I'm hoping that folks remember to actually go out and vote and don't think that this is a lost cause.
Well, that's really interesting because you would think that people would want to get out there knowing. I mean, did you hear what Garrett Tenney said? Violent crime up 62%. 62% of anything is abominable. That's super dangerous.
It is dangerous, but at some point when you haven't seen any progress, you tend to lose hope. When you say to yourself, okay, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to vote for this particular candidate, regardless of the position, and something is going to come of it that will help, and then it doesn't, you start to become jaded. And I do think that you're dealing with a lot of just jaded folks all across the country in some of these big cities that just don't think that there's change coming. But I will say that is a self-defeating attitude. Change can come. You're going to be disappointed. We're not going to win every single time. And look, there's no guarantee that you go with Paul Vargas and all of a sudden things are going to get better. There was a lot of folks who thought with Eric Adams things were going to dramatically change, and that clearly hasn't happened.
Well, they did. They got dramatically worse for a while.
Yeah, so, you're going to take baby steps in a certain direction. You're going to have to, hope that someone who's saying they're more moderate will actually be that once they get into office. But we know the guarantee with Johnson is just, at the bare minimum, more of the same, but probably worse.
Well, Paul Vallis is very different from that. But again, we don't know how his relationship with the district attorney would be, because that's kind of the wall also that's happened here in New York City with Mayor Adams. He doesn't control everything. Case in point, what's going on right now with former President Trump. Critics are not happy that the Manhattan DA, Alvin Bragg, is spending his time and their money prosecuting former President Trump. And while random violent crime claims more and more victims in the city of New York, one of those victims is saying this: there's a real concern that the DA is not focused on doing his job as the #1 issue of keeping people safe in New York, end quote. Bragg downgraded more than half of all felonies in Manhattan to misdemeanors during his first year. He also had a conviction rate of just 51%. Is he bad at his job or just not trying? Or both? RNC chairwoman Ronna McDaniel.
Instead of going after violent criminals, he's going after the former president, changing it from a misdemeanor to a felony, changing the statute of limitations. Instead of taking on rapists and criminals and people that are violently assaulting people every day in the streets of New York, he's going after Donald Trump. He's changing the law to fit his political agenda.
Here's a new op-ed also calling out Alvin Bragg. A quote from it: "No one is safer," as he promised as a result of his delusion and diversions. In Alvin Bragg's New York, you can literally get away with murder. Jason.
That's the unfortunate reality right now. When you're an ideologue, you are going to make decisions through that lens. And so you look at the way he views Trump. Trump is a political enemy. He benefits from privilege. He's white. He's rich. He's powerful. And then you look at some of the criminals. And when you look at the criminal justice system and you truly believe that it's broken, that it's steeped in white supremacy, that it is an institution of oppression, you're going to look at the people who go through it as victims. And thus you see these criminals who are being treated as victims who are worthy of endless chances. The problem is when you keep giving bad people another chance, they start to pick up on it and realize there are no consequences. And that's where this whole restorative justice approach that has been adopted by Alvin Bragg and so many other of these progressive DAs, it just fails miserably. And the people who are just trying to live their life, take their kids to a park, walk to work without getting stabbed or attacked or hassled, I mean, that's the reality for people on the ground.
Yeah. I mean, the buddy system, particularly for women in this city, is talked about daily. Yeah. I hear, and I don't live here, but as I get ready to leave the city, I hear other women on the sidewalk saying, now remember, we can't be alone. And it's not quite dark out yet. I mean, everybody is thinking this, and it's a reality no matter how much the city officials, including at one point Mayor Eric Adams, tried to say that it was an illusion. It is interesting that Bragg lowered the threshold from felonies to misdemeanors and raise the threshold from a misdemeanor to felonies for Trump. So lower for the killers, higher for Trump.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to let you go. Thank you. Outnumbered is after
Appreciate
the break.
it.